This is a recording of the user interface for our Project 3. We'll start here with the main page for signing in. We have the sign in and the top bar, nav bar that has sign in and register elements. Briefly looking at how that works, we click back and forth to reach the register page versus the sign in page. And then if I shrink the browser down below the medium level, then the toolbar becomes a hamburger instead. We go to the register next. I'll try registering. And note that the register button down at the bottom does not become live until all conditions are filled in. So I'll try registering as Clint Staley here at gmail.com. If my passwords mismatch, I get a little banner at the bottom that says passwords don't match. That changes back when I get a matching password. I still need to accept terms and conditions. Once I do all that, finally a submit will work. The submit complains that the email duplicates an existing email. That dialog will appear anytime there are errors, and it looks the same each time with different error content, of course. Dismiss it here. And then what I'm going to do is change my language. And in Chrome, at least, that's accomplished with my settings window. And then there's an advanced. And I'll choose to adjust language. You can list languages in preference order. Let me put Swedish up there by moving it to the top. I now have a Swedish language preference stated. We go back to the chat site, submit again, and we're going to get our error message in Swedish instead. Go back to settings here and change to Spanish. And now the error message will be in Spanish. The ES is the notation that says this is supposed to be a Spanish translation. Moving English back to the top so we can continue our demo. We find that we're back to an English error message. All right. Once I have successfully signed in, let me do that by changing the email so it's something else. I'm offered the opportunity to register directly, or to, sign in immediately. Once I've effectively registered, offered the opportunity to sign in immediately. I think I'm going to decline that, but if I did a yes, it would be as if I had signed in immediately as this new user. Okay. Now, I'm going to go back and look at sign in. I'm going to sign in as the standard admin user that I have in my test suite, but I'm going to put the wrong password in here. I'll add a little extra letter, and we'll see again the same error message is going to appear. And once again, if I, for instance, change to Swedish, then that error message will come up in Swedish instead. Storing English there. Okay, so now that we've been through the bad sign-in, I'm going to make it a good sign-in, and we get to this page. We see that the top bar has changed. We have the 3 tabs here: all conversations, my conversations, and my messages. And then also sign out over on the far right. If I shrink down, the little logged in as is not actually part of the nav bar top level, and it doesn't go in the hamburger, but everything else does go in the hamburger. I have my conversations and all conversations giving different behavior. If I go to my conversations, it shows only mine, which is the conversation 1. All conversations includes a conversation that was available for Clint Staley, another login that we'll investigate later on. And of course, the edit and delete bars, or edit and delete buttons, are available only from my conversations. If I want to change conversation 1 to 1A, I do that, it changes here. It also changes here, of course. Now I'm going to make a new conversation. You can see what the edit box looks like for that, or the dialog for that. Initially NA because there are no posts, so it has no most recent change. Let's drill now down to different conversations and see how they look. Conversation 1A, for instance, has a series of posts, all of them made by another user, not by me, user A at domain A, and then there are various likes on those posts. Those, when I mouse over, show a list of who liked them. And here I'll add a like for me. Oops. And that is fixed there. So that's what it should be after I click it and get my one like in there. Yeah. So let's see here. Next up, let's go over and look at expanding and contracting messages. These are messages, and when I expand them, I get their content, or contract them, I get just the message header again. If I make a new message, I have a full edit box with multiple lines here. And I'm going to actually put one very long line in here to illustrate that we do get proper breaking, even if it won't fit in the area available. So that long X, which is one big word, is nonetheless broken. There's a CSS that will do that for you. It's not too hard to look up, but be sure that you don't have this extend past the end of the div there. And so there we are with conversation detail. By the way, I'm not allowed to like a message twice. If I click it several times, all I get is a no op. So, and I'm not allowed to like my own messages, same answer, just a no op. Okay, let's go look at my messages. That thing looks like this. It shows just the messages that I have so far posted. And it shows the number of likes on those messages as well. Now, right now, there are no likes on mine because the other user hasn't done any liking. We'll look at that in a little bit more detail, but for now, the messages link over to the corresponding conversation that has that message in it. And so that's how that works. We can go back to where we were before. I'm going to go sign out now and sign in as another user. So let's do user A at domain A. Okay, now we're signed in as user at domain A. By the way, the double pill here is acceptable bugs. It's a troublesome thing with the nav bar that is hard to fix, so you're okay not fixing it. My conversations shows that I have none. All conversations are apparently owned by the admin user at this point. I could add one if I wanted to, it would be mine. But let's go in instead and just do some liking here. I like this guy's, oops, fix that again, sorry. Okay, and there's a repair there for that. So let's move on here. When we look at my messages now, what we'll see here is that there are some likes attached to my messages and also some dates. And there is an important sorting order logic that goes on here. I am going to change to sort by descending date. And what we see is that date becomes bold and a little down arrow. There is a Unicode for that you can just get and use as a character. Shows that we're sorting by descending date. Now by likes, and I'm showing a sort by descending likes. And what it's doing is fetching by date or by likes per the REST service API to accomplish this. And then importantly, if I sign out, sign in again, and go over there, the choice I made is remembered so that it doesn't need to be redone every time I come to message overview. You may find it necessary to add something to the Redux store to keep that persistence going. I don't believe we showed deleting a conversation, so let's do that. I'm going to delete the new admin conversation I made earlier. I'll click the delete. Are you sure you want to delete? Yes, goes away. And of course, also is now gone in the conversation general overview. And any messages that were relevant to it would be gone as well. I think there probably weren't any here, but they would be also adjusted. And that is about the demo.